This was the best race of the year in my opinion, and it was the Tour of the Alps 2025, where the key actors were going to be Michael Storer with his best season yet, and Thymen Arensman, the Tour de France stage winner, and their respective teams. Leading up to stage 4, we'd already established two things. At the time, Ineos Grenadiers was the strongest team, and Storer was the strongest rider. Stage 4, Thymen Arensman attacked with his full tactical weight of his team, and Storer had no teammates left. So when Arensman launched a long-range attack, Storer was forced to chase by himself. And he rode with raw courage, closing down what was initially minutes into mere seconds. But when the line arrived, he had nothing left. Michael Storer did not lose the Tour of the Alps stage 4 because he was weak. He lost it because he was alone. And the overall classification, the leader's jersey, the jersey Storer had fought for, was now gone. 11 seconds, that was the difference. The images after the finish showed what everybody assumed was the end of the story. Storer slumped, exhausted, the jersey was gone, and the race leader dethroned. But sometimes the most important part of a bike race happens when there are no cameras rolling. Inside the TUDOR team bus that evening, the mood wasn't frustration or resignation. Storer sat still, sweat still falling down his face. And after a long silence, Storer finally spoke. He said he was angry. Not disappointed, not frustrated. He said in an interview afterwards that he felt like the others had done him dirty. He felt he had to be forced to chase while the others sat on his wheel, waiting for him to crack. And he felt like he had been set up. And instead of that anger turning into bitterness, something else happens. It turned into intent. Tomorrow, stage 5 was not a typical stage. It was a short distance, and it was 3 brutal circuit laps with multiple climbs. This profile wasn't designed for defense. It was designed for an ambush. Storer and TUDOR Pro Cycling created a plan that was simple and so aggressive it could have easily failed. But if it worked, it would rip the general classification apart. And so the plan was to put a TUDOR rider in the breakaway early, then to increase the pace on the second climb, not with an attack, but just pressure, then to not attack until Arensman is completely gone, to ultimately bridge the breakaway and use the teammate as a slingshot. On the first lap, TUDOR executed step 1 and Lucas Eriksson made it into the breakaway. Ineos immediately felt the pressure. If they let the break still stay, the race slips through their fingers, and if they chase, they burn riders too early. Either way, TUDOR already had the upper hand. On the second climb, TUDOR begins step 2. To go to the front, not to attack, but to raise the tempo gradually. Cycling is not always lost in decisive moments. It is often lost in inevitability. One Ineos helper drops, then another, and then the moment that matters. Arensman is now alone. Storer finally attacks, and when he gets to Eriksson, the teammate immediately starts to pace up the climb. It was like Storer is suddenly riding a team time trial. Meanwhile, the race leader, wearing the jersey, had no helpers left. He descends aggressively, committed to the idea he declared on the bus the day before. On the run into the final kilometer, it's over a minute. And when he crosses the line, he doesn't scream, doesn't collapse, he just simply nods. There are bike races where power wins. There are also bike races where luck wins. And then there are bike races where the outcome is decided by one thing, a refusal. A refusal to accept what everybody else has already accepted.